Words are powerful. A few careless words can destroy trust built over years, but a few wise words can heal wounds, restore relationships, and change the direction of a life. The truth is, most people are never taught how to speak wisely. They speak from anger, from fear, from insecurity, from emotion. But truly wise people speak differently. They know when to speak, when to stay silent, how to remain calm under pressure, and how to use words to bring peace instead of conflict. In this video, we will explore 20 powerful lessons for speaking wisely. These lessons can help you communicate with confidence, build deeper relationships, avoid unnecessary conflict, and develop a calm, respected presence. Some of these lessons may challenge you. Some may reveal habits you never noticed before. But if you learn to master your words, you can transform the way people experience you and the way you experience life. So take a deep breath, slow down, and let's begin. Lesson 1. Think before you speak. Thinking before speaking is one of the foundations of wise communication. Most people speak from emotion, impulse, pressure, fear, or habit. Wise people pause first. That small pause changes everything. Why this matters. Words are powerful because once spoken, they cannot be taken back completely. A few seconds of careless speech can damage relationships, trust, reputation, opportunities, leadership, peace of mind. Many conflicts do not begin because people are evil. They begin because people react too quickly. Wise speakers understand this principle. Not every thought deserves to become words. The difference between reaction and response. Reaction. A reaction is immediate and emotional. Examples: speaking while angry, defending yourself instantly, interrupting, saying something sarcastic, responding without understanding. Reactions are usually controlled by emotion. Response. A response is thoughtful and intentional. A wise response considers consequences, understands emotions, chooses timing carefully, focuses on solutions, protects relationships. The pause between hearing and speaking is where wisdom grows. The power of the pause. One of the strongest communication habits is learning to pause for a few seconds before answering. That short pause calms emotions, helps organize thoughts, prevents regret, increases confidence, makes you sound more mature. Interestingly, calm pauses often make a person appear more intelligent, more trustworthy, more authoritative. People who rush their speech often appear nervous or emotionally driven. Questions wise people ask before speaking. Before speaking, wise communicators silently ask themselves questions like: 1. Is it true? Do I actually know this is correct? 2. Is it necessary? Does this need to be said right now? 3. Is it helpful? Will my words improve the situation? 4. Is this the right timing? Truth spoken at the wrong moment can still create damage. 5. Can I say this more calmly? The same message can either heal or wound depending on tone. Examples in real life. Example 1. Workplace conflict. Someone criticizes your work publicly. Emotional reaction. You always attack me in meetings. Result. Tension increases. Professionalism drops. Trust weakens. Wise response. I'd like to understand your concern better. Can we discuss the details? Result. Calm atmosphere, emotional control, stronger leadership presence. Example 2. Family argument. A family member says something hurtful. Immediate reaction, shouting back emotionally. Wise response. Pausing first, then saying, "I need a moment before we continue this conversation." That pause can prevent lasting damage. Why silence is sometimes better. Wise people understand that silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence means self-control, emotional intelligence, discernment, maturity. Not every attack deserves a defense. Not every opinion deserves a response. Some people destroy their peace because they feel forced to answer everything. Psychological insight. When emotions rise, the brain's emotional center reacts faster than the rational thinking center. This is why angry people often say things they later regret. Pausing allows the rational part of the mind to regain control. That is why emotionally disciplined people usually speak more wisely. Practical habits to develop. 1. Slow down your speaking speed. Fast speech often creates careless speech. 2. Pause before difficult conversations. Even 3 to 5 seconds helps. 3. Avoid texting while emotional. Written words can easily be misunderstood. 4. Practice listening fully. Do not prepare your answer while the other person is still speaking. 5. Replace impulsive reactions with questions. Instead of attacking, ask, "Can you explain what you mean?" A powerful principle. Wise communication is not about saying more. It is about saying the right thing at the right time, in the right tone, for the right purpose. That is the difference between impulsive speech and wise speech. Lesson 2. Speak slowly and clearly. One of the most noticeable traits of wise and confident communicators is that they do not rush their words. They speak slowly enough to think clearly, and clearly enough to be understood. People often believe confidence comes from speaking loudly or quickly. In reality, rushed speech usually reveals nervousness, insecurity, emotional pressure, fear of silence, lack of control. Calm and clear speech, on the other hand, communicates confidence, emotional stability, authority, intelligence, trustworthiness. Wise speakers understand that communication is not a race. The goal is not to speak faster. The goal is to communicate better. Why speaking slowly is powerful. When you slow down your speech, your thoughts become more organized. Your emotions stay more controlled. Your words become more intentional. People understand you more easily. Your presence becomes stronger. People naturally pay more attention to speakers who appear calm and composed. Fast speech often overwhelms listeners. Slow, measured speech gives people time to absorb meaning. The psychology behind slow speech. Human beings unconsciously associate calmness with confidence. Someone who rushes seems anxious, seems uncertain, seems eager for approval. Someone who speaks calmly appears secure, appears thoughtful, appears emotionally grounded. This is why many respected leaders, teachers, judges, and skilled interviewers speak at a controlled pace. They are not trying to fill every second with words. They are comfortable with silence. Clear speech creates trust. Speaking clearly is just as important as speaking slowly. Clear communication means simple wording, organized thoughts, understandable sentences, direct meaning. Wise speakers do not try to sound overly complicated. Confused communication often creates misunderstanding, frustration, mistrust. Clarity makes people feel safe because they know exactly what you mean. Simplicity is strength. Many people mistakenly think intelligent speech must sound complex. But truly wise communicators often use very simple language. Why? Because the purpose of communication is connection, not performance. A person who constantly uses difficult words may sound impressive for a moment, but a clear speaker is remembered longer. Example: complicated versus clear. Complicated communication. Given the multifaceted circumstances surrounding the issue, we should perhaps evaluate alternative methodologies. Clear communication. We should look at better ways to solve this problem. The second version sounds calmer, stronger, easier to trust. The role of breathing. Many people speak too quickly because they are physically tense. When nervous, breathing becomes shallow. Speech speeds up. Thoughts become disorganized. One simple technique. Before speaking, inhale slowly. Pause briefly. Begin speaking calmly. Controlled breathing helps control speech. Pauses make you sound stronger. Wise speakers are not afraid of pauses. Pauses create emphasis. Give listeners time to think, make important points stand out, reduce filler words like and like. For example, fast speech. I just think we should probably maybe try something else because this isn't working. Slower speech with pauses. I think we need a different approach. This isn't working. The second version sounds far more confident. Emotional control and speech speed. People speak fastest when emotions take control. Examples: anger, anxiety, defensiveness, excitement, fear. Wise communicators slow themselves intentionally during emotional moments. Why? Because speed increases mistakes. Slowing down gives the mind time to choose better words. Real-life example. During conflict. Someone accuses you unfairly. Fast emotional response. That's not true. You always misunderstand me. Result. Tension rises. Emotions escalate. Slow, controlled response. I don't think that reflects the full situation. Let's talk through it carefully. Result. Calmness, authority, respect. The slower response often gives you more influence. Practical ways to improve. 1. Practice reading aloud slowly. This trains pacing and clarity. 2. Record your voice. Notice speed, tone, clarity, filler words. 3. Pause at punctuation. Commas and periods naturally slow speech. 4. Avoid speaking immediately during emotional moments. Take one breath first. 5. Focus on being understood, not sounding impressive. Clarity always wins. One important truth. People rarely remember every word you say, but they always remember how calm you sounded, how safe they felt around you, whether your communication felt clear or chaotic. Wise speech is not hurried. It is calm, intentional, and understandable. Lesson 3. Do not talk just to fill silence. Wise people are not afraid of silence. They understand that silence is not empty. Silence can create space for thought, respect, understanding, and emotional control. Many people talk too much because silence makes them uncomfortable. They feel pressure to explain, defend, joke, or keep the conversation moving. But speaking only to fill silence often weakens your message. Why this matters? When you talk too much, people may feel you are nervous, you are trying too hard, you are not listening, you lack confidence, you are saying words without meaning. Wise speech is not about saying more, it is about saying what matters. Silence can make your words stronger. When you pause before or after an important sentence, the words carry more weight. For example, weak version, I just think maybe we should probably slow down and think about this a little more. Stronger version, we need to slow down. Let's think before we decide. Then pause. That silence gives the sentence power. Silence shows self-control. A person who must always speak can seem emotionally driven. A person who can remain quiet shows patience, maturity, confidence, discipline, wisdom. Sometimes the wisest response is not an immediate answer. Sometimes it is, I need to think about that, or let me listen first. In conflict, silence can protect you. When someone provokes you, silence can prevent you from saying something you regret. Not every accusation needs a defense. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every opinion needs your reaction. A calm pause can stop a small disagreement from becoming a serious argument. Silence helps you listen better. If you are always preparing your next sentence, you are not truly listening. Wise people allow silence because they want to understand before they respond. That makes others feel heard, respected, valued, safe. And when people feel heard, they are more likely to listen to you. Practical ways to use silence wisely. Pause before answering difficult questions. Let the other person finish completely. Do not rush to explain yourself. After making an important point, stop talking. When emotions rise, breathe before speaking. Use silence to think, not to punish. Be careful. Silence should not be cold. Wise silence is different from silent treatment. Wise silence means, I am choosing peace and thoughtfulness. Silent treatment means, I am using silence to control or hurt you. The goal is not to make people feel rejected. The goal is to speak with more wisdom. Key principle: silence is not weakness. Silence can be strength when it is used with love, patience, self-control, wisdom, purpose. A wise person does not speak because silence feels uncomfortable. A wise person speaks because the words are needed. Lesson 4. Listen more than you speak. Wise communication begins with listening. Many people listen only long enough to prepare their own answer, but wise people listen to understand. When you listen more than you speak, you gain information, build trust, and avoid unnecessary mistakes. Why listening is powerful. Listening shows people you matter. Your words are important. I am not here only to prove myself. I want to understand before I respond. People naturally respect someone who makes them feel heard. Talking too much can weaken you. When a person talks too much, they may accidentally reveal too much, interrupt others, misunderstand the situation, sound insecure, lose influence. But when you listen first, your answer becomes wiser because it is based on understanding, not assumption. Listening gives you wisdom. Every conversation contains clues: what someone fears, what they value, what they misunderstand, what they truly need, what emotion is behind their words. A wise person listens for more than words. They listen for meaning. Example: someone says, "You never care about what I think." A quick speaker may answer, "That's not true." But a wise listener may hear the deeper message: this person feels ignored. A wiser response would be, "I'm sorry you feel unheard. Tell me what I missed." That kind of answer can calm the conversation. How to listen wisely. Let the other person finish before answering. Do not interrupt. Ask clarifying questions. What do you mean by that? Can you help me understand? So what you're saying is, repeat the main point back to them before giving your opinion. Key principle: listening is not weakness. Listening gives you power because it gives you understanding. A wise person does not rush to speak. A wise person first learns what needs to be heard. Lesson 5. Control your emotions before responding. Wise speech begins with emotional control. When emotions are high, words can become sharp, careless, defensive, or hurtful. A wise person does not let anger, fear, jealousy, or pain choose their words for them. Many people do not ruin relationships because they lack love. They ruin them because they speak while emotionally flooded. When you respond too quickly in emotion, you may exaggerate, accuse, interrupt, insult, bring up the past, say things you do not truly mean. One emotional sentence can create damage that takes years to repair. Emotion is not the enemy. Controlling your emotions does not mean pretending you feel nothing. It means, I feel this strongly, but I will not let this feeling control my mouth. A wise person can feel anger without becoming cruel. A wise person can feel hurt without attacking. A wise person can feel fear without speaking from panic. Reaction versus wise response. Emotional reaction: you never listen to me. You always do this. This usually makes the other person defensive. Wise response: I feel hurt right now. I need a moment so I can respond clearly. This protects both the relationship and your dignity. The power of waiting. Sometimes the wisest thing to say is, let me think before I answer. Or, I don't want to speak from anger. Can we continue this later? This is not weakness. This is maturity. A delay can save a relationship from unnecessary wounds. In conflict. When someone criticizes, insults, or pressures you, emotional control gives you authority. Instead of matching their anger, you remain steady. That calmness communicates, I am not controlled by your tone. I do not need to prove myself through shouting. I can handle pressure with maturity. Practical habit. Before responding in a difficult moment, ask yourself, am I trying to solve this, or am I trying to hurt back? That question can stop many regrettable words. Key principle. Emotions are real, but they should not be the driver of your speech. Wise people do not speak from the storm. They wait until their words can bring clarity, not damage. Lesson 6. Use simple words. Wise communication is not about sounding complicated. It is about being understood. Many people think big words make them sound intelligent, but if the listener becomes confused, the communication has failed. Why simple words are powerful. Simple words make your message clearer, stronger, easier to remember, more honest, more relatable. A wise speaker does not try to impress people with language. A wise speaker tries to connect with people through meaning. Complicated speech can create distance. When someone uses too many difficult words, others may feel confused, intimidated, disconnected, bored, unsure what the person really means. Sometimes complicated language hides unclear thinking. Clear speech usually reveals clear thinking. Example: complicated. Due to the current interpersonal tension, we may need to reevaluate our communication dynamics. Simple. We need to talk more honestly and calmly. The second sentence is stronger because people understand it immediately. Simple does not mean shallow. Simple words can still carry deep wisdom. For example, I was wrong. I need help. Please forgive me. I understand. Let's try again. These are simple sentences, but they can heal relationships. In leadership, a good leader does not speak in a way that makes people feel small. A good leader explains things clearly so people know what to do. Clear words create trust because people do not have to guess your meaning. Practical habit. Before speaking, ask, "Can I say this in a simpler way?" If the answer is yes, choose the simpler version. Key principle. The goal of speech is not to sound impressive. The goal is to be clear, truthful, and helpful. Wise people use simple words because simple words often carry the greatest power. Lesson 7. Avoid gossip. Wise people are careful with other people's names. Gossip may feel small in the moment, but it can quietly destroy trust, relationships, and reputation. What gossip means. Gossip is not only spreading false stories. Gossip can also mean sharing private information that is not yours to share, speaking negatively about someone who is not present, exaggerating someone's mistakes, enjoying another person's weakness, using concern as an excuse to criticize. A wise person asks, "Would I say this the same way if that person were standing here?" Why gossip is dangerous. Gossip damages three people: the person being talked about, the person listening, and the person speaking. When you gossip, the listener may laugh or agree, but deep inside they may think, if they speak this way about others, they may speak this way about me too. So gossip may give temporary connection, but it destroys long-term trust. Gossip makes you look less wise. People who gossip often appear insecure, careless, untrustworthy, immature, hungry for attention. Wise people do not need to lower someone else to feel important. How to avoid gossip. When a conversation turns negative, you can gently redirect it. "I don't know the full story, so I don't want to judge. Maybe we should talk to her directly. Let's pray for them instead of talking about them. I don't feel right discussing this when he isn't here." These sentences protect your character without sounding harsh. When it is not gossip. Sometimes you must talk about a problem, especially when safety, responsibility, or accountability is involved. It is not gossip if your purpose is to seek wise counsel, protect someone, solve a real problem, report harmful behavior, get help. But the key question is, am I trying to heal the situation, or am I just enjoying the story? Key principle. Gossip is cheap speech. Wise speech protects dignity. A wise person does not use words to expose, shame, or entertain at someone else's expense. They speak in a way that builds trust, even when the person is not in the room. Lesson 8. Do not interrupt people. Interrupting is one of the fastest ways to make someone feel disrespected. Even when you have a good point, cutting someone off can make them feel unheard. Why interrupting hurts communication. When you interrupt, the other person may feel, "My words do not matter. You care more about being right than understanding me." You are not really listening. You think your opinion is more important. This can make people defensive, hurt, or unwilling to open up. Wise people let others finish. A wise speaker allows the other person to complete their thought before responding. This shows patience, maturity, and self-control. Often, if you wait, the person may explain more clearly. You may discover that your first reaction was based on an incomplete understanding. Interrupting can make you look insecure. People often interrupt because they are afraid they will forget their point, lose control, or not be heard. But calm people do not rush. They trust that their turn will come. What to do instead? Use these simple habits. Let the person finish their sentence. Take one breath before replying. Write down your thought if you are afraid you will forget it. Ask, "May I respond to that?" Say, "I want to make sure I understand you first." If you accidentally interrupt, correct it quickly. "Sorry, I interrupted you. Please finish." That one sentence shows humility and respect. Key principle. Interrupting says, "My words matter more." Listening says, "You matter too." Wise communication is not only about what you say, it is also about giving others enough space to speak. Lesson 9. Ask thoughtful questions. Wise communication is not only about giving good answers, it is also about asking good questions. Thoughtful questions show that you are listening, thinking, and trying to understand the deeper meaning behind someone's words. Why questions are powerful. Good questions can calm conflict, reveal the truth, help people feel heard, prevent misunderstanding, open deeper conversation, show humility. A wise person does not assume they already know everything. They ask before they judge. Examples of thoughtful questions. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," ask, "Can you help me understand why you see it that way?" Instead of saying, "That makes no sense," ask, "What led you to that conclusion?" Instead of reacting emotionally, ask, "What do you need from me right now?" These questions create connection instead of conflict. Questions slow down emotional reactions. When a conversation becomes tense, a thoughtful question can give both people time to breathe. For example, "I want to understand this clearly. What is the main thing that hurt you?" This kind of question shifts the conversation from attack to understanding. Good questions show respect. When you ask a sincere question, you are saying, "I value your thoughts enough to listen." That makes people more open to hearing your response later. Avoid questions that attack. Not every question is wise. Unwise questions sound like accusations. "Why are you always like this?" "What is wrong with you?" "How could you be so careless?" These questions do not create understanding. They create defensiveness. Better questions. Ask questions that invite honesty. What happened? How did you feel about that? What would help us move forward? What do you think we should do next? Key principle. Wise people do not use questions to trap people. They use questions to understand people. A thoughtful question can open a heart faster than a forceful statement. Lesson 10. Choose timing wisely. Wise speech is not only about what you say, it is also about when you say it. Even the right words can hurt, fail, or be rejected if they are spoken at the wrong time. Why timing matters. Sometimes people are not ready to hear the truth because they are angry, tired, embarrassed, grieving, defensive, overwhelmed, under pressure. If you speak at the wrong moment, your words may be true, but they may not be received well. Truth needs wisdom. A wise person does not think, "I'm right, so I can say it any time." A wise person thinks, "How can I say this in a way that can actually help?" Truth without timing can feel like attack. Truth with wisdom can bring healing. Example: wrong timing. You made a terrible mistake. Said publicly while the person is already embarrassed. Better timing. Can we talk privately later? I think there's something we can improve. The second version protects dignity and increases the chance they will listen. Timing in conflict. When emotions are high, it is often better to pause. You can say, "I want to talk about this, but not while we are both upset." Or, "This conversation matters. Let's continue when we can speak calmly." This prevents the conversation from becoming a fight. Timing in encouragement. Good timing also matters for positive words. A kind word at the right moment can give someone strength. Sometimes one sentence like, "I believe in you," or "You are not alone," can deeply encourage a person when they need it most. Practical rule. Before speaking, ask, "Is this the right moment?" If not, wait. Waiting does not mean avoiding the truth. It means preparing the heart to receive it. Key principle. Wise people do not only choose the right words, they choose the right moment. The right message at the wrong time may be rejected. The right message at the right time can change everything. Lesson 11. Stay calm during disagreement. Disagreement does not have to become conflict. Wise people know how to disagree without losing control, attacking, or trying to humiliate the other person. Why calmness matters. When you stay calm, you show maturity, confidence, self-control, emotional strength, and respect for the conversation. A calm person often has more influence than a loud person. Anger weakens your message. Even if your point is correct, anger can make people reject it. When your tone becomes sharp, the other person may stop listening to your words and start reacting to your attitude. So the issue becomes not only what you said, but how you said it. Wise disagreement sounds like this. Instead of saying, "You're completely wrong," say, "I see it differently." Instead of saying, "That makes no sense," say, "Can we look at this from another angle?" Instead of saying, "You never understand," say, "I think we may be misunderstanding each other." Calmness does not mean weakness. Staying calm does not mean you have no opinion. It means you are strong enough to speak without being controlled by emotion. You can be firm and peaceful at the same time. Practical habit. When disagreement becomes tense, slow down and say, "Let's pause for a moment. I want us to understand each other, not fight." That one sentence can change the direction of the whole conversation. Key principle. Wise people do not need to win every argument. They want truth, peace, and understanding. The goal is not to defeat the other person. The goal is to communicate with wisdom. Lesson 12. Do not speak from insecurity. Speaking from insecurity means your words come from fear instead of wisdom. You may be trying to prove yourself, defend yourself, impress others, or make sure people approve of you. But when insecurity controls your speech, your words often become too much, too fast, or too emotional. What insecure speech looks like. Insecure speech often sounds like over-explaining, apologizing too much, trying too hard to impress, defending yourself immediately, speaking just to be noticed, exaggerating your success, needing the last word. For example, I know this may sound stupid and maybe I'm wrong and you probably already thought of this, but a wiser version is, I have one idea we could consider. Simple, calm, clear. Why over-explaining weakens your message. When you explain too much, people may feel that you are unsure of yourself. You do not need to justify every sentence. Sometimes the strongest answer is short. I understand. No, thank you. I need more time. That does not work for me. These sentences are calm and secure. Confidence speaks simply. A secure person does not need to prove their value in every conversation. They can listen without needing attention. They can disagree without becoming defensive. They can admit mistakes without feeling worthless. They can stay quiet without feeling invisible. Practical habit. Before speaking, ask yourself, am I saying this from wisdom, or am I saying this because I feel afraid? That question helps you slow down and choose better words. Key principle. Insecurity makes words noisy. Wisdom makes words steady. A wise person does not speak to prove they matter. They speak because their words have purpose. Lesson 13. Be honest but gentle. Wise speech does not hide the truth, but it also does not use truth as a weapon. Some people are honest but harsh. Some people are gentle but unclear. Wise people try to be both, truthful and kind. Why this matters? Truth without kindness can wound people. Kindness without truth can mislead people. Wise communication brings both together. I will not lie to you, but I will also not crush you. Harsh honesty versus gentle honesty. Harsh honesty says, you failed because you were careless. Gentle honesty says, I think this could have been handled more carefully. Let's look at how to improve it. Both may point to the same problem, but the second one protects the person's dignity. Gentleness is not weakness. Being gentle does not mean avoiding difficult conversations. It means choosing words that can be received. You can be firm and kind at the same time. I understand your point, but I cannot agree with that. I care about you, so I need to be honest. This is hard to say, but I want to say it respectfully. Why tone matters. People may forget your exact words, but they remember the feeling behind them. A harsh tone can make even good advice feel like rejection. A gentle tone can make correction feel like care. Practical rule. Before speaking a difficult truth, ask, can I say this in a way that helps instead of hurts? That question changes your tone, your timing, and your words. Key principle. Wise people do not use honesty as an excuse for cruelty. They speak truth with love, clarity, and respect. Lesson 14. Use fewer but stronger words. Wise people do not need many words to sound powerful. They choose fewer words, but each word has weight. Talking too much can weaken your message. Speaking simply and directly can make your message stronger. Why fewer words are powerful. When you use fewer words, people can understand you faster. Your message becomes clearer, calmer, easier to remember, more confident, more respectful. A person who speaks too much may sound nervous. A person who speaks with purpose sounds steady. Too many words can weaken your point. For example, weak version. I was just thinking that maybe we could possibly try another way, but only if you think that might be okay. Stronger version. I think we should try another way. The second sentence is clearer and more confident. Fewer words show self-control. Wise speech does not pour out everything you feel. Sometimes you do not need to explain every detail. You do not need to defend every decision. You do not need to answer every attack. A short, calm answer can protect your peace. Examples. No, thank you. I need time to think. That does not work for me. Let's talk when we are calm. I understand your concern. These sentences are short but strong. Strong words have purpose. Using fewer words does not mean being cold or rude. It means removing unnecessary words so the true message is clear. Before speaking, ask, which words are necessary? Then remove the rest. Key principle. Weak speech often says too much. Wise speech says what matters. A wise person does not speak to fill space. A wise person speaks with purpose, clarity, and strength. Lesson 15. Pay attention to tone. Tone is the emotional sound behind your words. You can say the right words, but if your tone sounds angry, cold, proud, sarcastic, or impatient, people may reject your message. Why tone matters. People do not only hear what you say, they also feel how you say it. The same sentence can have completely different meanings depending on tone. For example, I'm fine. With a calm tone, it means peace. With a cold tone, it may mean resentment. With a sharp tone, it may mean anger. Tone can build or break trust. A gentle tone can make people feel safe. A harsh tone can make people feel attacked. Even when your words are technically correct, a bad tone can create distance. Wise tone sounds like this. Wise speech usually sounds calm, respectful, steady, sincere, patient, kind. It does not sound rushed, sarcastic, mocking, or superior. Example. Harsh tone. You need to listen to me. Wise tone. I really want us to understand each other. The second one is more likely to open the heart. Practical habit. Before speaking, ask yourself, will my tone help this person receive my words? If not, slow down, breathe, and soften your voice. Key principle. Tone carries the heart of your message. Wise people do not only choose better words, they also choose a tone that brings peace, respect, and understanding. Lesson 16. Do not argue to win every conversation. Wise people know that not every conversation is a battlefield. Sometimes people argue because they want to prove they are right. But wise communication is not only about being right. It is about protecting peace, understanding, and relationships. When your goal is only to win, you may stop listening, become defensive, speak harshly, embarrass the other person, care more about pride than truth. You may win the argument, but lose the relationship. Winning is not always wisdom. A wise person asks, is this conversation worth fighting for? Some arguments are important. Some are just ego. Not every wrong opinion needs your correction. Not every misunderstanding needs a long explanation. Not every disagreement needs to become a debate. What wise people do instead? Instead of saying, "You're wrong, let me prove it," say, "I see it differently." Or, "That may be something we understand in different ways." Or, "We may not agree, but I respect your view." These responses keep dignity in the conversation. Peace over ego. Choosing peace does not mean you are weak. It means you are mature enough to know when silence is better than conflict. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is, "I don't want this to become an argument." Key principle. Wise people value truth, but they do not worship being right. A wise speaker knows when to explain, when to listen, and when to let go. Lesson 17. Match your words with your actions. Wise speech becomes powerful when your life supports your words. People may listen to what you say, but they trust what you consistently do. Why this matters? If your words and actions do not match, people may see you as unreliable, careless, fake, emotional, untrustworthy. But when your actions support your words, your communication becomes much stronger. Words alone are not enough. Anyone can say, "I care about you. I will change. You can trust me. I am responsible." But wise people know that promises must be proven through behavior. For example, if you say, "I respect your time," then arrive late again and again, your actions speak louder than your words. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility means people believe you because your behavior has a pattern of truth. You do not need to talk too much when your life already shows your character. A consistent person speaks with quiet authority. Example: weak communication. "I promise I'll do better." Wise communication. "I understand what went wrong. Here is what I will do differently next time." Then actually do it. Practical habit. Before making a promise, ask, "Can I truly follow through?" It is better to make a small promise and keep it than to make a big promise and break it. Key principle: wise speech is supported by faithful action. When your words and actions agree, people do not just hear you, they believe you. Lesson 18. Learn when to stay silent. Wise people know that not every thought needs to be spoken. Silence can be a sign of maturity, self-control, and discernment. Sometimes the wisest words are the words you choose not to say. Why this matters. Speaking at the wrong time can create unnecessary problems. You may damage trust, peace, relationships, your reputation, someone's confidence. A wise person asks, "Will my words help, or will they only add noise?" When silence is wise. Stay silent when you are too angry to speak kindly. You do not know the full story. Your words would only embarrass someone. The conversation is becoming pointless. Someone is trying to provoke you. You are tempted to gossip. The timing is wrong. Silence protects you from regret. Silence is not weakness. Some people think they must always defend themselves, but wise people understand you do not need to answer every insult. You do not need to correct every opinion. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. A calm silence can show more strength than a loud argument. Example: someone tries to provoke you. You always think you're right. Emotional response: that's not true. You're the one who always causes problems. Wise response: I don't want this to turn into an argument. Then stop speaking. That silence protects your peace. Silence gives you time. Silence helps you calm down, think clearly, listen better, choose better timing, avoid careless words. Many people regret what they said too quickly. Few people regret taking time to think. Be careful. Silence should not be used to punish. Wise silence is not the same as the silent treatment. Wise silence says, I am choosing peace. Silent treatment says, I am trying to hurt or control you. The purpose of wise silence is protection, not manipulation. Key principle: wise people know when words are necessary and when silence is better. Sometimes silence is not the absence of wisdom. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Lesson 19. Encourage people with your words. Wise speech does not only avoid harm, it also brings life, courage, and hope to others. Words can either weaken people or strengthen them. A wise person chooses words that help others rise. Why encouragement matters. Many people are silently tired, discouraged, or afraid. A simple sentence at the right time can give them strength. Encouraging words can say, "You are not alone. I see your effort. You still have hope. You can keep going. I believe in you." Encouragement is not flattery. Flattery is often exaggerated and selfish. Encouragement is sincere and specific. Flattery says, "You are amazing at everything." Encouragement says, "I noticed how patient you were today. That really mattered." The second sentence feels more real because it is specific. Wise encouragement builds confidence. People often remember words spoken to them during difficult seasons. A kind word can become a seed of courage in someone's heart. Instead of only pointing out what is wrong, wise people also notice what is good. Examples. Instead of saying only, "You need to improve," say, "You have already made progress. Let's work on the next step." Instead of saying, "Don't be afraid," say, "I know this is hard, but you do not have to face it alone." Practical habit. Each day ask, "Who can I strengthen with my words today?" Then say something honest, kind, and specific. Key principle. Wise words do not just express thoughts, they build people. A wise person uses speech to bring courage, peace, and hope. Lesson 20. Speak with purpose. Wise people do not speak randomly. They speak with intention. Before they open their mouth, they understand why they are speaking. Why this matters. Many people speak because they feel emotional, bored, pressured, or eager to be noticed. But wise speech has a clear purpose. You may speak to encourage, clarify, correct, comfort, teach, protect, solve a problem, build understanding. When your purpose is clear, your words become stronger. Speech without purpose creates noise. Speaking without purpose can lead to gossip, over-explaining, unnecessary arguments, confusion, emotional reactions, wasted energy. A wise person asks, "What am I trying to accomplish with these words?" Purpose changes your tone. If your purpose is to hurt back, your tone becomes sharp. If your purpose is to understand, your tone becomes calmer. If your purpose is to help, your words become more careful. Your purpose behind the words often shapes the power of the words. Example. Without purpose. You never listen to me. With purpose. I want us to understand each other better. The second sentence has a clear goal. It invites peace instead of conflict. Practical habit. Before speaking, pause and ask, "Will my words bring clarity, peace, courage, or help?" If the answer is no, it may be better to stay silent. Key principle. Wise speech is not just about saying something. It is about saying something meaningful. A wise person speaks with purpose, not noise. Before you leave, ask yourself, which lesson do you need most right now? Comment your answer below. And if you believe words can change lives, subscribe and share this video with someone who needs it today.